Thank you for coming. Jaden, thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you guys. So um the topic for today is are we losing our identity as Africans? Are we losing our identity? Benny, Koroyal, thanks for coming. Augustina, thank you so much for coming. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming, guys. Wow. It's too hot. That's why I faced the window before because of the hotness. Thank you all. So wow, the message is being held. Don Patrick, thanks for coming. Thank you all for coming. Sorry about the changing of. It's because of some of the video that I've done before. Most of the things they are very dark. So that was why I bought this ring light, but it seems it's something they not even function self. But I think it's okay now since you can see my face. Winnie, thanks for coming. Christiana, thank you. Love it, Alex. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming to my today's live program. I welcome you all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For those that have been coming before, thank you for returning. Thank you so much. And for those that are just joining, thank you so much for coming. Today's topic is something that I discovered, I've noticed. So it's Africans, are we losing our identity as Africa? Are we losing our identity? So what we mean by identity? Identity is the fact of being a person or a thing. So that is the definition of identity. Identity is the fact of being a person or a thing. What do I mean by that? It means that identity is who you are as a person. It's who you are, you know. Like identity is who I am as a person. Identity is looking good. Ifeoluwa, thank you so much. Thank you. Joy, thank you for coming. Joy, thank you so much for coming. Kisley, thank you so much for coming. Thank you all. I really appreciate you for coming back. See the way I'm breathing up, for just getting up and changing position. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming. So, as I was saying before, I said identity is the fact of being a person or a thing. Solution, thank you. Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much. So identity is the fact of being a person or a thing. Identity is who you are as a person. So identity, what do I mean by if we are losing our identity as Africans, what I notice is, in Africa, where I come from, I'm gonna use my country as a case study, Nigeria, where I come from, Even growing up in Nigeria then, I remember that my grandma, that she doesn't really go to school, but she will be speaking English to us. She doesn't want us to okay, I should be using this background, it's better. All right, thank you, Didi. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rini. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I remember growing up then that my grandma would be speaking English to us, pidgin, they call it broken English. She'll be speaking pidgin English to us because she wants us to understand English. She wants us to speak English. And I discovered that is not only my grandma that does that, it's so many people, even my mom, everybody, growing up speaking English, wanting their kids to know how to speak English, to the fact that, so many homes now when you go to Nigeria, nobody speak their local or native language to their kids anymore or to their children. Love it and family, thank you. Nobody speak their local or native language to their kid anymore. All they do is, they speak English, in every homes you go in Africa or in Nigeria where I come from, they speak English, they continue speaking English, So I'm not looking at that. Even here in the abroad, as I normally call it, I love calling this place, the Western world, the abroad. Even here in the abroad, where we are now, you discover that in many African homes, most of the parents, they don't teach their kids their language anymore. They don't teach them their local or native language anymore. What they do is, once they are here in the abroad, all they do is they keep on speaking English. What's your destiny? Yeah, I'm going to leave drop my number. Let me just finish my introduction. After the introduction, then I will Yeah, number to call. I will drop the number. Just give me a few minutes to quickly do my introduction. After your introduction, then you all can call in and contribute. So I discovered that most people here, most African here, in their homes, in their different homes, we don't speak anymore. We don't speak our local or native language to our children anymore. All we do is, even in the house, when we know that we are in the abroad, in the Western world, for those of us that are in English speaking country, or maybe you are in German speaking or Dutch speaking country, or in French speaking country, you don't speak, instead of instead of us to be speaking English, or our native language to our kids, what we do is we speak English to them, even at home. And then we don't teach them our culture, Part of identity, identity is in different form. You can cultural identity, or it can be your culture, it can be your religion, it can be your age. You can identify with the same, age group of people. So as I was saying before, we don't speak our language again to our kids. What we do is we speak English in the house. We don't teach them our culture. Like where I come from, when we want to greet somebody that is older than us, there is a way you greet the person. There is a way you say, "Oh, good afternoon, auntie." You don't just say, "Oh, hello," or something. Or I discover here that most of the kids here, because they are well grown, because of the milk they are taking here, most of them are taller than you. They will just, when you see them, they know you. They will just look at you and then they will go. They won't say hello. They won't say anything. Which is not supposed to be so. That's not the way we are being brought up in Africa. In Africa, that's not the way. Simple, welcome, Simple. Cheesy boy, welcome, welcome, welcome. So the way we are being brought up at home, back home in Africa, when you see an elderly person, the way Cheesy and family, I see you, you're welcome. So when you see an elderly person, the way you greet them, the way you recognize them, here in the abroad, we don't do that to our kids. We just leave them to be. We don't teach them, how to speak our language. We don't teach them our culture. So which make me to be thinking, are we losing it? Is this thing going? Diva Fit, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Are we losing this identity? Are we leaving everything? Just we want to westernize everything here because of globalization. Because of what has happened to us. The Europeans coming to Africa. To colonize us. And then everything is going. Nobody's speaking our language anymore. So is this thing really happening to us? Are we losing our identity as Africa? Let's take for instance, like my brother back home. Whenever my brother call me, on the phone, he will be speaking English to his daughter, and I'm like, bros, why are you speaking English to your daughter? Why aren't you teaching your daughter how to speak Yoruba? You tell me, come on, go boy Yoruba, meaning she doesn't understand how to speak Yoruba. Imagine they are in Nigeria now, they are not in here in the abroad. That she doesn't understand Yoruba language. I'm like, I'm here in the abroad. I'm teaching my son and my daughter because I've got two kids. I speak my own language, my local native dialect, the one I understand because I grew up in Lagos, the one I understand in Lagos where I grew up. I'm speaking it to them, because I want them to understand, the little that I know about my language, about my culture. I want them to know it. So are we doing this? Is African parents, we as African parents, are we doing enough, to teach the upcoming generation our language, our identity, or are we just being westernized, leaving everything? No, just forget it. Is our culture going into extinction? Is it going to fade away? Because the way it's going, it seems this language of ours, or this culture of ours, or this identity of ours is gradually fading away because we don't, it's as if we don't care about the culture, African culture anymore. Come to think of it, even Christianity and those that are Islam, that practice Islam, is not part of our culture. It was being brought to us by the Europeans, It's the Western world. They are the one that brought all this thing that we are doing now. They brought it, to Africa for us to like. So we integrated into all these things. Is integration? Is it killing us? Is it taking away our identity as human being or as Africa? Are we losing this identity? So I want us to like, are you losing your identity, or is your children, or is our children as Africa, are they losing it? Or we just okay, or everything is fine? Natasha, welcome. Well, Well, I will tell you, like I said before, I said I grew up in Lagos. It's not that I'm very good in speaking my own language as well. There's some things that you will say in my language that I'm not going to understand. But if you speak Yoruba, Lagos Yoruba, I will understand what you're saying. You know, Lagos Yoruba is really very easy to understand. So are we losing our identity? Are we losing it? Are we teaching our children, how to our culture, our language, or are we not? Are we just do we just leave everything to them? Don Patrick, you're welcome. He said some family, but it seems it's nice. Even the people in Africa now, they are doing it. Even my in-law, my sister-in-law back in Africa, when you hear our children, our daughter was, she was on the phone to us some weeks ago. If you hear the way she's speaking English, like American English, her accent, the way she was speaking on the phone, you're like, oh, this girl, it seems she grew up in America. The way she was speaking the English, like American accent. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because our official language in Nigeria, it's English. We need to understand English in order for us to be able to interact with other tribes and regions of Nigeria, because we have so many sub-regions in Nigeria. But us, are we losing? Are we doing what we are supposed to do? To teach our children, to teach our kids, how to speak our language, or are we just, oh no, we don't want to teach our children I don't care attitude, the way we do that. We want all of our children to know how to speak English. Joy Omox, you're welcome. This message is being held. Let me just see it. Let me quickly read some messages. I can't speak my tribe fluently, but I can hear. Okay. Didi says she can't speak, but she can hear. Oshu, bringing matter a lot into speaking languages. No, it's not. It's not only about speaking. It's about our culture. African people, we are rejecting our native language with the intention of, being westernized. Everything. Like we are rejecting it. We want to westernize everything. Even some people, the way we are, things are going now. Some people in Africa, they no longer buy things made in Africa anymore. Isn't it? What they do is anything that is made in the overseas, here in the abroad, that's what they glorify. That's what they like to buy. Is that not part of it? Something like everybody's, all the kids are coming up now. This generation, it's like we are being westernized, that we are rejecting our local, our native language. We don't want to speak this thing anymore. We just want to leave everything, just want to be speaking English, or be speaking French, be speaking Dutch, be speaking Polish, this thing, So are we losing it? Esila Boss. Oh, thank you, beautiful. Thank you so much. Obidia, thanks for coming. Some messages are being held for review. I don't know why. Frankie, thanks for coming. So are we losing our identity? Are we doing the right thing? Do we think this language of ours is going to a station that is no longer going to, maybe in the next 20 or 30 years, our identity will be totally lost? We've lost some of it. It's going gradually. The way it is now is that it's going gradually. It's going, even in some countries, in some African countries, they glorify, Western language, than their own native language, their native culture, their being who they are, even apart from of language, identity is, who we are. Your skin color, our skin color is a form of our own identity. Me being black now, I identify as a black person, as an African woman. That's who I am, which I'm proud of. Some people are blessed in learning language, but if not, try. I wish we, Africa in general, we understand the benefit of origin, background, knowing your exactly. That's what I'm saying, Kid Jedin. That most of us, we don't value who we are as African. We just think, okay, I'm African, so what? It's like we've lost our identity to westernization, to globalization, to it's what our colonial master want us to think. It's like they've kind of fashioned our brain to think, okay, everything that is from the West, that is what is good. Everything that is from Africa is not good. Our culture is not to be cherished. Our culture is not to be loved. That who we are as a human being, as a black person, that is not for us to love. Let's say for instance now, even what is going on. Okay, I don't want to pick on now, but I'm quickly going to pick this one. Thank you for calling. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yeah, I hope I'm on to Vivian Vlog.
Yes, you are on. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can go ahead, please. What's your name and where are you calling from?
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This is an interesting topic, and I'm following you right now.
Thank you so much.
I've been typing.
Yeah, I've been reading your messages.
Air some of my opinions concerning this issue.
Okay, go ahead. Please.
Okay, I want to use myself as an example.
Okay.
I grew up in the family whereby every Christmas we must go to the village, and you know what that means as an African.
Yes.
Especially Nigeria, we go to the village, and the villagers there, they speak our local dialect to us.
Yes.
Even if you come from the city, okay, they will never want to speak English to you or pidgin.
Okay.
Even when you try to reply them with pidgin English, they'll be laughing at you.
Okay.
But me that is here now, I cannot speak my dialect, but I can hear. Okay, that's why I said it depends, because where I come from, my parents did not bring us up with our local dialect. Okay? It's either pidgin or English, except when we go to the village. That is when the local dialect thing will come.
Yeah, is that not what I'm saying? Sorry, caller. Is that not what I'm saying? That we Africans, parents, that the way we are bringing up our children, it's like we are losing it. We are not teaching them our native or local language anymore. We just live it. Okay, we want them to understand English. That's it.
My dear, that is why I said it depends. It's not every family. There's a family that speaks their local dialect. But the person you are speaking it with now is a person willing to learn. That is why I said I want to use myself as an example. Though my parents did not speak our local dialects with us, but when we go to the village, I have aunties, you understand, that when you tell them things in PG, they will embarrass you. But I am not willing to learn. Okay, I can hear, but I cannot speak fluent there. And even if I try to speak, you know, this our village way of, like my age mates, they will be laughing at me. Maybe if I try to pronounce something, instead of them to correct me, they will be laughing at me. They'll say, "Look at how she's pronouncing pepe. Look at how she's pronouncing water in our local dialects." Okay, that is why I said it depends on the family. There are some families that till dates, whether being abroad or back home, they still speak their local dialect to their children. But it is left now for the child. Now, are you interested to learn?
Yeah, but what if your parents, they are speaking the language to you, you will understand. Even if you can't speak it fluently, you'll be able to speak at least a little of it.
That is what I said. That is what I said. So I said, for me, I can't speak fluently, but I can hear properly. No matter what you are, even if you are insulting me with my dialect, I can hear. You understand me? But I cannot give it back to you. I'm not fluent. Okay. That is why I said it depends on the upbringing, your parents. I grew up in a city, but once my mom especially, she speaks to us once, and my auntie. But when we go to the village, that English or pidgin, that one you have to just keep it aside, because that is what they will be speaking to you. You cannot go and answer an old woman or a village girl with a pidgin. They will laugh at you. But I personally, I am not good in learning languages. That's what I am trying to say. Okay. I typed there as well. Yes, I am not good in learning language, but you will see a 2-year-old child that is brought up in the village speaking the village language fluently like that. You as an adult, you will be so ashamed of yourself because that is the position he or she finds herself. She was brought in that way, in the village way of life. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. So thanks so much for calling, caller. Thank you so much. I've been having so many missed calls now. It's like a lot of people are interested in it. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
I'm still on.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. What the caller just said now is that she's not been brought up with a language that in their house they only speak English and pidgin broken or pidgin English as we call it in Nigeria or the western part of Africa. I'm coming. I'm going to pick you. I just quickly want to make this point. Sorry, whoever is calling. I want to make this point that they don't speak their language. When she was growing up, her parents don't speak their language to her when she was being brought up. So that's one of the points I'm trying to make. That growing up in some home, growing up parents, we as parents, as African parents, that or maybe it's Dutch, do you glorify it more than your own? Do you value it? Let me put it this way. Do you value that language, that language that is being brought to us by our colonial master, you know? Do you glorify it more than your own language? Do you value it more than your own language? Because these children, when they go to school, they are going to learn how to speak this English anyway, or they are going to learn how to speak Dutch anyway. They are going to learn how to be fluent in speaking French anyway. So these things, you know, that we are doing to our culture or our language, is it being detrimental now to our culture or to African identity? Let me quickly play this call. Hello. Hello, good evening, caller. Thanks for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Precious Stevie, calling from Italy.
Thank you so much for calling, Precious. You can go ahead.
All right. Okay, I want to give my own opinion about Africa. Are we losing our identity? Of course, we are losing our identity, especially here in Europe, because Nigeria, we say partially, they are trying, okay? They are trying over there little, but here in Europe, the language barrier along our culture, so we over neglect it. So to the extent that even most of us, those that are already parents, it's not the child's fault, it's the parents' fault. Let me just use that, because if you as a parent, you are speaking your dialect to your children constantly, I believe that child one day, definitely, because it's something that you start from the beginning. Not that when the child will now grow, they will start speaking it. That child will not mind you. So when you start from the beginning, you are teaching your child your dialect. I believe that child will grow with it. Bible says, train up a child the way it will grow. And when it grow, it will not depart from it. So when you start from the infant age, that child will grow to know that your language, your dialect, and it will be used to him or her. Example like the Ghanaians, I give them kudos, because Ghanaians, you can never see a Ghanaian child from maybe if that child start crawling or start walking from at the age of 2, 3 upward. You see that child will start speaking their dialect, be Ghanaian. Okay, so if Ghanaian can teach their children like that to speak their dialect, so I believe that with Nigeria we can also exhibit that same character, that same way of life, because one, culture is the way of life. Okay. That is the meaning of culture. Culture is the way of life. Culture is the one that showcase or demonstrate your identity whenever anywhere you go. First of all, your language and the way of life, the way of living, how you speak, how you greet people in the morning. Many of our Nigerian children don't know how to greet in the morning. If you are from Benin, they don't know how to greet in Benin. If you are from Yoruba, they don't know how to greet in Yoruba. So if people even greet itself, they cannot even know how to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They will be looking at you. They will see you. We have lots of them here. They'll be looking at you. They won't be able to say hello and see, you know what I mean? That's the way, that's what I'm saying. I've noticed this thing in so many, I've lived in so many regions in this United Kingdom that I've noticed it, that most of the children here that have been brought up by Africans, they don't say hello. They will look at you, they will put their neck up like this and be looking at you. They won't be able to say hello auntie or to say anything. But in our culture back home, it's not that way. We are not being brought up that way. They can't speak the language. They don't have the, those things, those ingredients, those things that is in our culture that make us to be Africans. They don't have it. Is it not the fault of the parents now?
That is my sister. The same thing. I will not blame the children much. You understand? My blame is for the parents, because why? If you have nurtured that child from the beginning, that's why I use the Bible verse. Train up it. I think Ephesians 6:1, something like that. Yeah, Ephesians 6:1. Train up a child the way we grow. So the training a child, the character, your culture, it depends on you as a parent from the beginning. Okay? It depends on you as a parent from the beginning, because if you can teach, because not every parent, even in this Europe, that are not every children that are wayward, that are stupid, that don't know, or there are children, other places, especially our Nigeria is for water. Because other cultures, see other African countries, I make reference to Ghanaians. Ghanaian children, you see the way they are different from our far different from us, we Nigeria. Other countries, Guinea, they speak their dialect, they greet in their dialect. Ghana cannot see a Ghana woman and start greeting him or her good morning, but that is what she or he is going to utter out from his mouth or her mouth. So I've never seen a Nigerian child behave that manner. So me, I'm still on the notion that the fault is coming from our parents, because why did we teach that child from beginning? Every time speaking good English, yeah, your child must surely speak good English, but you must teach him or her your culture. First of all, how to bring it to your dialect. So the thing is affecting me today. Even me myself, I don't know how to speak my language perfectly because I didn't stay there. Not that I don't know how to print or so like stay with my parents, so I stay on that.
Paula, thank you so much for calling so that we can, sorry for cutting you off there, so that we can give some other caller chance. Thank you so much.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
This caller just said it all. She said that the fault is from the parent. There's another caller. Let me quickly pick this call because I want to make another point. Hello, good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Odua. I'm calling live and direct from Milan.
You're welcome to my live program, Odua. Can you please go ahead?
Thank you very much. You are talking about Africans losing their identity or culture.
Yes.
Yes, it is true. Our culture or our identity is going, let me say, extinction.
Exactly, extinction.
We have for some time now neglect history in our school curriculum, in our activities. Let me say in our education, we did not focus much on history. Let me tell you, if you forget your history, which means there is no hope for tomorrow. That is why we are having this kind of problem. If you talk of like in Europe or in these advanced countries, if you see how they basically focus on history, they know their history. We don't know our history. We are having a lot of problems and challenges today in our society because we don't know history. We don't know what happened before. We don't know what led to what we are seeing today. So part of it is that why it is going into extinction is because we have neglected history, even right from the primary school. Check here, they teach them. Many of us that are in Europe here, one of the things these people, they start teaching us in their school, they start teaching us about their history. They want us to know about their food, want us to know about their language, want us to know about everything. They teach us all these things. So that is the reason why our people, we don't even, our children or we that are growing, we don't see anything good out from our language because there is no significant thing that was being told. What do you know about your language? You don't know anything about it. The existence. How come? You understand it? So if we continue to focus much on history, it lies. Our culture, everything is inside our history. Because we don't know about it, that is why we don't put focus. We don't emphasize on it. And another thing again, why we are having this problem, because let me say globalization and cultural change. Let me say, if I talk about, let me break that globalization. The coming of this technology, the advent of technology. Technology brings so many people of different borders together. Now, and Africans, this civilization and globalization is not coming from Africa. So many of Africans are leaving their country, are leaving their continent to another continent. Meanwhile, if you check about these Africans that are leaving their continent, Africa is the second most largest continent on earth, containing over about 900 million people. You understand? And these people are leaving their continent, leaving their place to another geographical area. You understand? Thereby learning those people's culture. Many of us now from Africa, we know other people's culture. We know London culture. We know Italian culture. We know German culture, even better than our own culture. You understand? So these are many of the problems. We are leaving our places to go and find green pasture. So thereby none of us are, in fact, so there are so many people now in Africa, they are studying German language, they are studying Italian language, they are studying French language, because they have planned that in the nearest future, they will relocate to Germany, they will relocate to France. You understand? And it will be hard for you to see any of this French, Italian, studying Igbo language, studying this language, studying. Now, take for instance, let me not waste too much of the time. One of our pericocide is a pericocide or
the ingredient.
If you fail English in Nigerian university or in Nigerian secondary school, if you don't pass English, you are not going to university. If you don't pass Benin language, you will not move to the next class. If you don't pass Yoruba language, you will not move to the next class. We don't place emphasis on our own.
Exactly.
We don't play emphasis on our own. We neglected our own. And another thing again, so many people think when you talk of culture, so many people think you are out of religion, that you are against religion. No, culture is a way of life.
Yeah.
The way people. So some people, when you talk about culture, they think you want to bring them to juju side. You want to bring them to native doctor side. No, that is not what culture is talking about. Culture is your own way. The Jews, they have their own culture. The Roman, that is why they say if you are in Rome, you behave like the Romans, because that is how they behave.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
In conclusion, what I am trying to say is that we are neglecting history. And as a result of that, the neglection of history is bringing extinction of culture and cultural identity. You understand? Yeah. That is why today you see Nigerians are fighting war. If they tell us what happened during 1960s or 1967 during Biafra war, how many people died, the casualties, nobody will want to go into war again. Nobody will clamor for war again. If they tell us about if they teach the younger generation about civil war, first war, world war, you understand? Teach us about all this migration and
thank you so much, caller. Other people are trying to call in. Thank you so very much. Thanks for calling. I really appreciate your contribution. Yeah, this caller said it all. It said globalization, civilization, colonization have changed the way we behave and think in Africa. Let me quickly play this call. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Christina from UK.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling, Christine.
This is a very interesting topic.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you. Very interesting. I from Kenya's family channel anyway. I had in mind to talk about this show on my platform, but I'm so happy, so excited to see someone else here doing it as well, which is a very good thing. At least it encourages me more, because seeing somebody else thinking the way I'm thinking, that means it's right.
All right, yeah.
So I just want to contribute to this very topic of yours.
All right, go ahead.
That culture is so vital. But we Africans, especially the ones in diaspora, we easily forget about our culture. We get carried away with the Western life, which is so disheartening for me. But what I'm trying to say is that if we can trace back and make some correction, like some people, one of the callers said, like from her background, that she's unable to speak her dialect, but not that she doesn't understand. She do understand it. Yeah. For that kind of a situation, if we, this present generation parents, can correct it now and start teaching our kids, even with any means, either we've got a lot of technology now. We can go online. We can find a book that covers our especially the language part, right? And start imparting that knowledge into our kids, because kids are so smart.
They understand quickly.
Even if you speak 10 languages, different languages,
they will understand.
They will learn it and speak it perfectly. There's nothing too big for their brain. No, they learn so faster than we are.
It's adult that struggles. That's right.
Yeah, but it's so sad seeing other parents speaking English to their kids. At the same time, when they go to school, they still learn that English and come back to the house. Come on, let's create awareness. Let's not lose our culture. Let's not lose our background and roots. Do you understand? Yeah. We need to start telling them. We need to start teaching them and let them understand. So I believe that this your platform, let people, we watching you as well, we will all learn and maybe start exploiting what we've learned, so that we can retain our culture. To be honest, it's so good. Okay. So keep it on what you're doing. I really enjoy your show this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Keep watching.
Yeah, thank you for calling. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah. So all the callers that have called in now are like all saying that we have African parents, the upcoming, we need to teach our children our language, our culture, the way we behave back home, the way we greet elders. There's a way when you're in Africa, there's a way when you see an elderly person, there's the way you will say hello to the person. Don't just look at that person and say hello. For a child of 5 years or 16 or 17 to see somebody that is 70 years old and say hello to the person, we don't do that in Africa. That's not part of our culture. That's not the way we are. That's not the way our culture taught us, to behave. I will use another example, like myself here in my family. My husband, when we give birth to our first and second child, we want them to have, their first name, as English. I said no. They need to have their first name as, our own local name, because my first name as well, everybody know me as Vivian, but that Vivian is not my first name. Vivian is my second name. I'm using Vivian now because I think Vivian is more suitable for my program. That's why I'm using Vivian. So my husband wants us to be using, to name them, for them to have their first name as English name. I said no, they're going to have English name, but it's not going to be their first name. And I think also some of the reason why some of us, some people don't give their kids, they don't want their kids' first name to be in their own or local or native language, because of the way things are here in the Western world. If you say somebody's like, okay, chukuma, and then you want to you are in high school, you want to go to uni, even for you to apply, say you want to go to Oxford University, or you want to go to Cambridge, and somebody that is Jumbo apply to go to the same uni, they will pick somebody that is Jumbo before they will pick you. I think that's some of the reason why some African parents choose to give their kids, English first name, because of the way things are here in their abroad, because your name as well, sometimes if you are from Africa, if you are from Bangladesh, if you are from Asia, your name at times affects you, in terms of where you the level at which you get to in life, or the level how successful you will become sometimes, or the level at which you get employed, in terms of maybe when you're looking for employment, you're looking for a job. If somebody that's got a name that is English, and somebody that has got a name that is Yoruba name now, or Igbo name now, or Ghanaian name now, you look for work, you go and search for work, they will pick the person that has got the name that's got to do or that's related with English language. I think that sometimes affect us, tend to make us to want to like give our kids sometimes English first name or Dutch first name. So let me quickly read the comment. My children don't have English name. Obidia said that children don't have English name. My children, they've got English name as well. I've got English name, which you all know is Vivian. That's my name. It's Vivian. But that doesn't mean, because sometimes it's because of the nature of the place where we're living, because your name sometimes affects you in terms of, going to higher school, going to college, or going to uni, when you want to apply to all these big names uni, or you're looking for a job, you're seeking an employment. It does affect you sometimes when you have local names. Maybe that's some of the reasons why some parents don't like giving their children, their local or native name, So many things are happening, here, even back home. So many people, when you go to so many homes back home in Africa, in Nigeria, I'm using Nigeria, as I said before, as a case study. They don't speak. Nobody. They don't want to. Even those people that sell pepper in the market. They don't speak Yoruba, or they don't speak Igbo, or they don't speak Hausa to their kids anymore. What they do is they speak English. They'll say, "Oh, come here." That's what they do. There is another colleague. Let me quickly pick this. Hello, caller.
I just want to contribute another thing.
Okay.
I will not blame the parents much, because one, I will blame them for. I also blame the government, because government, we don't have a central language, centralized language.
What do you mean by centralized language?
Today we have 3 ethnic groups in Nigeria. We have Igbo, and Hausa. You know, like Ghana now that I make reference to before, I make reference to Ghana, that Ghana, the children speak their dialect. No, Ghana, they have that one language, general. Ghana language, which it's easier for them to learn how to teach their children. That is why you see that their children learn it. You understand? For example, now, if you are a Yoruba man and I'm an Igbo woman, they will not get married. So if I don't know your language as a Yoruba man, you don't know my language as a Igbo woman, then we have children that they are living with us. So if I have to speak my language for that child, and you will now not speak your own Yoruba, so it will confuse that child.
But you know, the caller that called in before you, she said that, you know, the way children are, they can learn like 6 different languages together because they are so smart. The way their brain is, it's different from the way we adults are. Adults will find it, you know, very difficult to learn fast and to learn easily compared to children. I don't think you can confuse children with them. You know, in my house now, I speak my local language to my kids, and my husband speaks English to my kids because they are still very young. They are not yet of school age. These children, they will understand quickly if you speak 6 different languages to them. You know, there is no scientific evidence, you know, to say that this thing is going to affect them or it's going to disturb them, or they won't get it quickly, or they won't get it easily, because the way their brain function is different from the way adult brain function.
Yeah, I agree with you, my sister. I agree with you, Hosta. But the easier way would have been for general language, you know, like other countries, like the one I'm just making for Ghana, Senegal, so they have socialized language. So if you say that children are, but for my own way, the easiest way that would have been better for them, that way would have been easier for everybody to speak one dialect. So that is my own opinion.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This caller just said that it would have been, you know, like if Nigeria have I think the official language in Ghana as well. I've not been to Ghana before, even though Ghana is very close to Nigeria. I think the official language as well in Ghana is English, right? That's the language, their official language. Maybe they now have another call. Let me quickly pick this up. Hello.
Hi, host.
Hello.
Good afternoon. It's me back again.
All right.
I just want to make mention of the caller, this last caller that said confusion on children learning different language. No, children, there's nothing like confusion on language where children is. So I totally disagree on that one, because I think sometimes we parents confuse ourselves thinking that that child is being confused. No, it's not. I have them here in England whereby the man is a Nigerian man, the lady is from Dutch, right? These children speak Nigerian, which is Igbo language. They speak Dutch. They speak they speak English, and the boy now is 9 years old. The boy speaks now Italian language, which is Italy, because he's doing online lesson. He's 10 years now, but he can speak 4 different languages. Come on.
It's multilingual now.
Come on. Kids are not like adults that get confused. They enjoy it. It's we parents. We kind of, our mentality, we are thinking that we are confused. It's not part of that. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, this is my contribution. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for calling. This caller now is she said she disagreed with the first caller that children don't get confused, that they can learn, like I said as well, that they can learn multiple languages at the same time. They will be able to, you know, to accommodate it and to be able to speak it fluently. Unlike we are adults, you know, we don't have that. I don't think, all right, let me quickly pick this call as well. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm Cheesy. I'm calling from Italy.
Thank you so much for calling, Cheesy. You can go ahead.
Okay, I want to contribute on this your topic.
Can go ahead.
Okay, this thing of a language. So it depends on how you train your kids at home. Like this, there's been called a court before this last one. I heard her say that if the government can do something, I don't know. She's talking about government. Yeah. there's nothing concerns government. If you want to train your child with your language, it's left for you. You don't have to say that it's government. So train your own child. Like my kids now, we speak Igbo in our house. Even we go out, there's a place that's crowd. Be crowded. We don't have to speak English for them because if you speak English, a lot of people will hear it. You have to go to them in your own dialect, and they will hear immediately. You can communicate, and nobody will know. It might be something that will, bring like enough money for us. Do this like this, do this like this with your own dialect, and they will do it immediately. But people around them will not understand. Like now, maybe if we go to Africa, yes, we will speak this, as we will speak here that we are maybe Italian language. And that Africa, there's things that as a place that will be that you don't want to speak Igbo, that you speak like Italian language for them. They do that, and they will do it. Nobody around you will. You understand? Found that was going on. It's good to and kids learn fast. Kids learn fast. Like me, I've been here in 1 year. I don't know, like now, I don't know all the language, but then they can speak, they can write, they can even tell me, they are teaching me. That's the way kids are. It's better we teach our kids our local language. It's very good and better. So I'm still watching you here.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. I think somebody else is calling again. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. This caller also said that she think children do learn fast, that they don't learn, that the way the way their brains develop is different from the way adults are, that they learn very fast, that we can teach our children how to speak English and speak our local language, and they will understand us as well. Let me quickly pick this call as well. Hello.
Yeah, so I want to make contribution. I'm still Precious Destiny TV.
Okay.
Like the last caller, not this very one, the other one that said that a friend of his children speak English and Dutch language.
And now Italian.
Yeah, so for English and Dutch is an international language. You know that? Dutch, it's international language.
Yes,
English and Dutch. Yeah, it's international language. Now in Nigeria, we have 520 languages. You understand? So 520 languages. Tell me, how can a child learn that language? So you cannot compare 520 language to.
No, I don't think caller. Yeah, I don't think that's what the last caller, the caller you are referring to. I don't think that's what she meant. I think what she's trying to say that you yourself, you as a parent, you should teach them your own local language, local dialect. If you are from Igbo, you teach them Igbo. Let them understand how to speak Igbo. If you are from Yoruba, teach them Yoruba language. If you are Hausa, you teach them your Hausa. If you are Yoruba, you teach them the Yoruba. That's what she meant. Your own local language, local, not for them to learn the whole 500 whatever language in Nigeria. That's not what she meant.
Yeah, I'm still on the notion that it will be very difficult for the children, for the child, to learn different language, to learn maybe you are from Urobo, the child, you are as a father, the child will speak Urobo, maybe the brother is from Yoruba. So it's something that is complete. I feel as if it's one language now. It will be okay as Dutch now. Dutch is being known all over all over the world. English is being known all over the world. French is being known all over the world. So it is very easier. So all those for them make their own, as one, which is like, so it's being known all over the world. So if you want to learn, you people as we as the foreigner, that I feel like I speak Italian. I am not an Italian, okay? I can speak, the top person can speak Dutch, and they are not from Dutch. So because the language is very, it's an international language, so it makes it it's very easier for those that come in easily to learn, you understand, and to practice their culture. So I don't believe that.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Another person is on the line. Thank you so much. Let me quickly pick the call. Okay. All right. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Thank you so much.
The topic really makes sense, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Before I dive into what I want to say, let me first of all talk about the last caller. What this last caller is saying doesn't make sense. Listen, in Africa, yes, we have different languages. Even if it's up to 500 or 1,000, whatever, we have different type of languages. But children's brain is very fresh. If a child have the privilege to learn all those languages, they will grab them. So what you're trying to say doesn't make sense to me. Children will grab them because the children, you can't compare them to us. Their brain is very fresh. That is why you see a child, whatever you teach a child at an early age, that child grabs that and it doesn't go out of the head. If you say child, it's normal. Despite the fact that English and Dutch, as she's saying, is a general language, the compulsory international, yes, but if a child has the ability to learn 100 languages at that age, they will learn it. So she should get that. Then in my own particular contribution, Africa, we have been colonized by the British. Yeah, so that is why it seems like we so many families want their children to be speaking English. Because that is the people that colonized us. And we are looking up to them. Before, that is, even in my house, we normally speak English in our house. But now that we are mixing up with the Westerners now, you see that we are beginning to change. Previously when we come here, our children don't speak our language. But now if you see, so many families now are changing. Our children now are answering our own names. We are beginning to have groups in our Western world, wherever we are now. We do our traditional stuff, we do our parties, we do our yearly anniversaries, and things that we normally do at home, we do them here now. So our culture, we are trying to regain our culture, not like before anymore. So we are improving. Okay. That is my own contribution.
All right. This caller said things are improving, that we are trying to regain our culture. Let me pick this call. Hello, caller. I've got 5 minutes to go, caller. 30 seconds.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. 30 seconds.
I want to, that caller that they said they disagree with her, I agree with her. What she's trying to say is
one unified language, right?
Germany have one. I'm calling from Milan.
Okay.
Germany have one language, one central language. Italy have one central language. Even America have one central language. And we have 3 central language and other dialects, about more than 500 dialects. Now, if we can have at least one unified one that when you speak, it goes around like north, east, west, south. We know. You understand? Not you having your own. Benin will not take their own as very strong.
Do you think that kind of a thing can happen in Nigeria? Is this colonial master now that amalgators, that do the amalgamation, both the Igbo, the Hausas, the Yorubas, both them together, and they are not in unison. They are not in agreement with one another. Do you think we can have a central language in Nigeria? Do you think so?
It is possible, because it's possible. If we are talking about restructure, they can do language restructure in such a way that English, we don't know English before. We started learning English, and English becomes the basic stuff that everybody can now speak English better. Wolosho Inka is even going to America to even teach our Britain to teach them English. So we can restructure these things, and we can do. Everybody cannot be. Now, in Benin, we have many languages in Edo State. We have many dialects in those countries.
Hola! Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I see there's no time. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much all for calling. I think maybe we're going to bring back these topics. It seems everybody is interested in it, so we'll bring it back. Hello, caller.
The male caller,
1 minute, please.
Why is it that white people cannot speak in other languages? I have seen white people spoke speaking English.
Of course. Even some are teaching Yorubas.
Yes, I typed it. It depends on the situation you find yourself. Some that are privileged to go to Africa, they are married to Nigerians. Their wives are speaking pidgin English to them, speaking their different languages to them. So if the white man is interested to learn, or the white woman is interested to learn, he or she will definitely want to learn. Okay? He or she will definitely want to speak with the family members. So I have seen white people scatterized pidgin like this with other local dialects.
Yeah, even white. I've seen white as well that is teaching Yoruba, that learn Yoruba, that is a lecturer of Yoruba language.
Yes, it's all about interest. Hold on, my husband wants to add to this.
All right.
We're talking about dialects. So she has little time to go.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Time to go.
Thanks for.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Just tell me this: why will any African dialect help you anywhere in the world apart from the village where it comes from? They need to learn French.
You need to learn.
Please like that.
Yeah, but it's our language as African is our identity. We don't need to lose our identity because of westernization, because of globalization.
Hang on. What you're saying is that the children born in England have to lose their identity in England and speak your language.
No, they're going to learn anyway. They're going to learn how to speak English, but they need to learn how to speak our language as well.
That is not helping talking some language what nobody else knows in the world.
My time is up. Thanks for calling. Thank you so much. We're gonna bring back this topic. What is this one? Sorry guys, sorry about that. I think we're gonna do this topic again. It's like everybody is interested in it. We'll do it again. Thank you all for calling, for coming, for calling. Thank you so much for the contribution. I really appreciate you all. If I don't mention your name, I'm sorry. My time is up now. Thank you so much. Zico, thank you. Odua, Chizi, Eze, Kingsley, Marina, Obidia. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I really appreciate your coming. Thank you for the contribution. Maybe we'll do this topic again. It seems everybody is interested in it. Thank you, Christiana, Miss G, Kingsley, Cheesy, everyone that have contributed, that have called to contribute, to King Jaden. Thank you, Love. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye, guys. Bye.